Hello, hello, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages. This is the Pivot with Power podcast. My name is Lance T. Walker. I am your host with the most. And today we have the incredible pleasure of the company of Dr. Tolliesha Watts, better known as T, who is here to let you know what is going on in her world. Dr. T, how are you today?
I am doing well. And yourself? How are you doing, Lance?
I'm doing fabulous. Better now that you're in the place. Uh,
Woo!
Tell me what is the name of your company?
Vision to venture.
I'm loving that. You see, you got to explain that already.
Okay, so Vision to venture, I think it's kind of already clear. We're really going from that dreamer stage to execution. So we're
Okay.
taking that vision and we're making it into a viable venture.
Uh-huh. As
Mhm.
in business.
Yes.
Excellent. Hang on, folks trying to bang on my phone to get in here. No, you can't have her. She's mine. Uh, Vision to venture. So you're looking for folks who have a dream, haven't lost the dream,
Yes.
but how do you find the ones that are motivated to actually act on that dream, to turn it into a venture?
So there's usually telltale signs. I see it a lot in the veteran community. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like they already have their candle lit, like they have that will of fire. They already have that purpose, that fuel, that mission to want to be a part of something bigger, to want to do something bigger. So they kind of have that entrepreneurial spirit already embedded in them. And
Okay.
typically they might not be sure how they're getting in and fitting in the fight past uniform.
Okay.
And a lot of them have dreams, ambitions. Some they want to run a business. They may not, they may get stuck in certain phases, and that's where I come in. Like they may get
Mm-hmm.
stuck at the design or the creative part, and they're like, I'm not creative enough to come up with the logo. I need help, or maybe I don't know how to make this a real thing, so they need a business plan. And so that's where I come in and I kind of assist them getting from that one stuck point,
Uh-huh.
whatever's stopping them, and kind of just move the trajectory a little bit of where they're going.
Oh, so you found you a little niche in the veteran community.
Yes, but I assist
Ah.
aspiring entrepreneurs as well. I'm just saying
Uh-huh.
I noticed that will of fire and that passion
Mm-hmm.
in our
Mm-hmm.
veterans. I know that it's
Okay.
there.
Well, I'm Air Force Special Ops, and of course, you're one of the few, the proud, the Marines.
Ooh.
So tell us about, how that fits into your background. How does your experience, as a Marine shape the way you think about work, purpose, and leadership, from your perspective?
So my time in the military really kind of shaped me. It gave me a
Okay.
lot of discipline, a lot of just real life experience to apply, and a lot of grit. So I'm really used to adversity and stuff like that, which there's a lot of adversity in
Of
entrepreneurship.
course.
And you've got to really stay on it, and you've got to really be dedicated. It's not something you could just wake up and be like, I think I want to do this. You've got to
Ah,
be able to really apply yourself and keep going, even when it's tough and even when it doesn't look promising. So the military kind of shaped that. They helped me with, overcoming adversity, getting used to adversity. So I can
okay.
look adversity in the face and be like, I'm not scared of you, and keep going.
Now that's very interesting because you present well. Your femininity is intact,
Thank
and
you, Lord.
this whole grit, huh? Like I don't know, she don't look like Miss Rough and Tough to me,
I,
but I suspect there's a backbone of steel in there somewhere.
if I've got to get in the paint, I've got to get in the paint. I
I
don't
heard
like to
that.
get in the paint. I like
You
to,
ain't tall enough for a basketball reference.
what? I'm 5'7". I'm almost
Uh,
5'8".
oh, almost. All right. Well, in that case, all right. Okay, so being military, you have obviously a sense of mission about your life.
Mhm.
So this vision to venture thing, how would you just first of all, would you describe that as a mission?
Yes. And I would say that my mission is to help purpose-driven people build structure around their vision so that their ideas don't die in their head. Because I work like at the intersection of strategy, clarity, and execution. So especially for like entrepreneurs and veterans and professionals who know they're called for
Mm-hmm.
more, but they kind of feel overwhelmed or
Mm-hmm.
scattered.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's what I like to focus on.
Okay, so you're addressing that initial startup stage or that pre-startup stage.
Yes.
Okay.
Usually the people I'm dealing with, they're in the beginning phases of some sort. And I'm not saying I can't assist with those who are, they're trying to grow, but it
Mm-hmm.
would be more so like those who are maybe trying to rebrand themselves
Mm-hmm.
or go into
Mm-hmm.
a different arena or kind of change and shift what they're already doing that may not have
Okay.
been working for them.
Excellent.
So, mhm,
Okay, so that fits right in with the mission of the Grown Folks Computer Club then.
mhm.
That might explain why you decided to associate with us. That's a wonderful thing. And I'll ask you about that in a minute. But first, I want to know, I want you to give us an example of something that you deal with a lot. Where is a common place where you find that folks kind of get stuck when they're trying to make that switch or they're trying to level up?
Hmm. So most adults, they don't really get stuck because they're incapable. They get
Okay.
stuck because there's like this really messy in between section where
Okay.
they're going from who they are to who they're
Mhm.
becoming and who they want to be. And
Okay.
so that in between phase is really uncertain. It's humbling,
Okay.
and it's slower than expected. So
Mhm.
people, when they're in that phase, they have a tendency to kind of want to rush back into like what's comfortable or even
Mhm.
freeze in self-doubt, like, oh, I can't do this, or
Mhm.
I can't make this happen for myself. And so
Okay.
moving past it, in my opinion, it requires three things. You need
Okay.
honest self-awareness,
Uh-huh.
discipline, consistency,
Okay.
and the willingness to get that support because growth isn't usually a motivation problem, it's a
Mhm.
structure and a mindset problem. And so when people
Uh-huh.
build those systems around their goals and they stop trying to do everything by themselves,
Mhm.
momentum follows.
Okay. Now,
Get
see,
a team.
I'd say again.
Get a
Get a
team.
team, exactly. And that's exactly what I was thinking about, because you know who I was thinking of, one of our sisters on the mentorship team, Dr. Felisa. As a psychologist, that's really, right where she's going straight to, is way beyond mindset, into this whole who are you and how are you presenting yourself to the world. So, as one of the partners in crime, what are you bringing? How do you help people? How do you apply your skills to help people move past this stuck stage?
So for me, I'm a business strategist. And
Mm-hmm.
so I love helping people with their business on divorce. If you are in the arena of wanting to create your own business, maybe you don't know how, you don't know where to start, that's
Mm-hmm.
where I come in. And for as long as
Ah.
you have a viable idea, or let's say you don't like because people are in different stages of their idea. Some
Uh-huh.
people might have the idea and they don't have the actual framework for it. Or some people
Okay.
they have everything but they don't have the creatives to it, the website development, the logo, the
Mm-hmm.
those elements. And so depending on where they are in that journey, that's where I come in, but usually tending to those who are interested in creating their own business.
Okay. So if they're at the idea stage, then I mean, they might want to basically step out and do their own thing on a full-time thing, but they might also want to just kind of dip a toe in the water as a freelancer, do a side hustle kind of thing. Are you helpful with that as well?
Of course.
Uh-huh. Of course. All
Of
right.
course.
Well, the side hustle thing is, I think a lot of people see that as kind of a, well, I can do this while I still have a job kind of thing, not realizing that that's actually the most difficult way to go about it
Yeah.
if you happen to have a life, you
And I can
know?
I can attest to that because I started off as a freelancer. Because I
Okay.
was still when I began building my business out,
Mm-hmm.
I was still active duty. So
Oh, my.
this was all a dream. It was all a dream. And
And all the DOD restrictions and everything else that go along with it.
exactly. And I didn't start off as a business consultant. I started off as a graphic designer and a photographer. And
Ah,
I still do those things, but that now they're kind of encompassed into something else. But
okay.
um, when I started off with that, it was a lot because I couldn't completely dedicate
Hmm.
all the things into making that business viable. So
Okay.
it's almost kind of like you're working backwards in a sense. When you dip your toe in, you can see if you like it, if you want to
Mm-mm.
do it. But in terms of the success of that business,
Hmm.
I mean, it'll be successful, but will it be sustainable? Probably not, because you
Oh,
don't have the
two different
time.
things.
Hmm.
I said two different things.
Yeah.
Successful versus sustainable.
Yeah, you can have success in it, but I'm not too sure how sustainable it'll be when you're dedicating your time into multiple places because you don't
Hmm.
have all the time to dedicate into that one business. And it really takes a lot to keep that business going and pumping and flowing.
Right.
There's a lot of
Right.
aspects and
Yeah, and especially if you wake up and you got orders to Afghanistan.
right.
Um, so wow, I'm loving this because the whole mission of the Grown Folks Computer Club is helping people to realize the value they didn't know they had because there's so many forces in the world trying to convince them that they don't.
Hmm.
For the benefit of other people. So give me a little bit of insight here. When we put the word out that we were looking to build a mentor, instructor team, what made you decide to say yes?
Well, that's simple. I feel like Grown Folks Computer Club's mission aligns deeply with my heart for empowerment through education
Okay,
access because
outstanding.
there's a lot of adults who have the wisdom and the life
Mm-hmm.
experience and the
Mm-hmm.
drive to grow, but technology can feel like a barrier instead of a bridge for a lot of
Ah,
and
okay.
I feel like this club is closing the gap and making that practical, welcoming,
Okay.
judgment free. And I think that's very powerful. And in my own journey, I've also noticed how, digital literacy and confidence
Mm-hmm.
and having the access to the right tools can
Mm-hmm.
completely change someone's career path, like in
Outstanding.
as well as their business potential and their sense of independence. So
Okay.
I feel like, and also, Grown Folks Computer Club is not just teaching about computers or how to work
Right.
this, that, and the fourth. They're restoring confidence and
Mm-hmm.
expanding opportunities for people who may have felt left behind in a
Mm-hmm.
fast-moving world. And I feel like that kind of impact is something that I believe in. I believe in being a part of.
Outstanding. And I'm so glad to hear that because we are very much AI forward on this thing. We don't believe in letting the bad guys have all the tools. As one of my partners said, master AI before AI masters you.
Mhm.
So as I understand it, that's also part of the toolkit that you're bringing. So tell us a little bit about your AI adventures to this point.
So, believe it or not,
Mm-hmm.
I always consider myself if one of my weaknesses is technology, if I'm being honest. And
Okay.
so I like that was always something I kind of ran from. Um,
Ah.
but as of the beginning of 2025, I started off really simple with utilizing Chat GPT and it was
Mm-hmm.
transformational because
Uh-huh.
when you use it in terms to like benefit your business and to help you and to assist you with prompting the right questions and things like that, it
Mm-hmm.
can literally take you from point A to point B and it can really help with a lot of factors. And
Okay.
I'm also getting well versed in other AI tools like anti-gravity, Firebase Studio, stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And they assist in every aspect in terms of business. It really just depends what you need. Like it can
Mm-hmm.
literally help with almost any and
So
everything.
you say depends on what you need. You mean something like a website?
Yes, like you can develop websites as well using
Uh-huh.
tools.
Uh-huh. So have you dabbled with that at all?
Yes, I'm working on it. So I am working on utilizing anti-gravity and Firebase to develop sites. So,
Okay.
and it has been good so far. I'm working with my engineer to kind of help me get through some of the kinks
Okay.
in the development stage because there is a lot of kinks and bugs as well when you
Mm-hmm.
develop big applications and
Mm-hmm.
websites with
Mm-hmm.
AI. But those are just, those are small bumps in the road for a bigger picture because when you have AI tools, like it it builds everything in the system already
Mm-hmm.
for you, SEO
Uh-huh.
discoverability, stuff like that. So
Okay.
It makes it easier.
Ah, so it sounds like you've got a bit of a vision yourself.
I do.
Well,
Vision's a
congratulations.
measure.
Outstanding. Well, we are going to do everything we can to help you continue to turn that vision into the biggest venture that you can enjoy. And I just want to say thank you for stopping by the studio today. And ladies and gentlemen, you have had the pleasure of the company of Dr. Tolliesha Watts, better known as T. And we are going to sign off now, but I want you to go ahead and look at the bottom of your screen and you will see the link to your strategy session. That's grownfolkscomputerclub.com/strategy, grownfolkscomputerclub.com/strategy. Okay, so stay busy, keep building, and between now and the next time, we'll see you then.